So I initially was not planning on ever coming back to the farm. I actually got my degree in horticulture and landscape management from Illinois State University. I worked for a landscape company in the north suburbs of Chicago for 3 years. I was working 80 hours a week and I never felt like I was accomplishing anything. So I made the decision in 2014 to come home and farm, and I've been home farming ever since. It's not easy to talk about succession planning because that implies that there's an end to the older generation farming. I had been talking about succession planning for probably 3 or 4 years, trying to get it going. And this past January, I got them to talk about it.
And you can't have a conversation about succession planning until I was comfortable that he was going to be able to take over the farm at some point. I am now. He's shown me that he can do that.
I do all the financials for the farm, and that's one of my biggest concerns, is not to strap Michael with any financial burdens. My hardest thing is to figure out is the best way to pass on the farm without any tax implications. Just trying to research what our options are to make sure there isn't a tax liability for anybody or to have a minimal tax liability.
Doing your homework on succession planning is extremely important because you want to know all your options before you make the decision. You don't want to jump into something this important without knowing all your options. So I have had initial conversations with my accountant, and I've also taken part in the soybean summit, this last one that they had back in March. They had a succession planning workshop. So I went to that, and I also attended virtually the AMP webinar series this past summer, and one of the sessions was on succession planning. The AMP webinar series and the Soybean Summit have been extremely helpful in getting the information that you need, different options, different viewpoints of what succession planning can do for you. We plan on talking to our tax accountant, our lawyer, and our insurance agent on different ways to set up the operation. It's definitely important to talk to as many people as you can because everybody has a different viewpoint on succession planning. They all have different experiences with their clients and what worked for their clients.
And hopefully I can stay farming until I'm 70. That's kind of my goal.
But we can't wait until then to make plans. It has to be a plan in place over a number of years to make the transition from us operating it to Mike operating it.
If you don't have a succession plan in place, it could be extremely detrimental to the continuation of the farm. I mean, if you don't have something in writing, you could lose the farm. So currently I have 2 kids, and I hope that I can pass on our family farm to one of them or both of them in the future. And I'm hoping that with the succession plan in place, that it will be much easier to bring them into the operation than if we didn't have a plan in place.